Hello and welcome to Dad's Our Job podcast. This is your host, Adam Leverborough, and I'm joined by Rob and Callum Horton. And remember, Dad's Our Job is the original footballing podcast for dads by dads. And I fucked it up again.
This is why I should do it. I should introduce the podcast.
Oh, go on in. Right, let's rewind.
Right, Rob, this is Rob's audition. Go.
Right, go on, Rob's audition. Go. Boom. Boom.
I don't need to audition. I should just get the
Go
role.
on.
Go on, Rob.
Go on, do it then. Go on then.
Hello, well, welcome to the Dad's Our Job podcast, the original podcast for dads by dads. Hello.
Callum, you'll go. You'll go.
Hello, everyone. Welcome. This is the Dad's Our Job podcast, the original podcast for dads by dads to talk about football and all shit, including in football. Here we go. Welcome. Let's go.
I think he's got the job. He's got the job.
As long as I don't have to listen to you every week, Adam, I don't care.
Oh, how are we getting on, guys? We're getting on all right?
Yeah, I feel better now. I've got that off my chest, really. I've been waiting to do that for 32 episodes.
Yeah. And to be fair, it's better than the other 30 that Adam's done.
Now, look at this. Look, we've had a comment already. So Callum is absolutely smashing it out of the park.
Well,
I'm switching off now. I've done my job.
You're welcome to smash it off our stream. Thank you very much.
Ooh.
Hold on, is this what we're talking about? That separate page that we were talking about earlier?
Embarrassing.
Do you know what we should do? All jokes aside, right?
I'm sorry,
anyone who wants to do a little Oh, what? Hey, what? Adam, I think we should
being useless.
Go on, Rob. Go on, Callum.
I think we should put it out to the viewers. Anyone who wants to try and do our introduction, if it's any good, we will play it. We will play it week in, week out, or if we get a new one each week, we'll play that to introduce everybody.
I'll put the StreamYard link up, right? And if anyone wants to come on and give us their best audition, they're more than welcome. I'll invite them. They get 15 seconds to smash it out of the park, and if they don't, we're cutting them off like Graham Norton. You know, like the red chair.
Yeah,
that's a good shout.
Yeah, 15
get
seconds.
Amazon TV on.
It's Amazon Football TV. Come on, the link's there. Come and join. Anyone else is more than welcome to. Rob, I think your internet's gone a bit wonky, mate, if I'm honest, but we'll carry on as regardless.
Rob's frozen. That's it. He's back. There he is. I was going to say, he looks a bit happy in that picture. Oh, he's gone again.
It's gone again. Right, I'll take you back for a minute.
Yeah.
So, Cal, how's your week been anyway, in terms of football in terms? You feel okay about the Desmond at the weekend?
Oh, yeah. I mean, I'm not. To be honest with you, I switched off from football after the Champions League semi. I'm not gonna lie. Like, I mean, the league, I'm not worried about at all. Like, I wasn't worried about that 2 months ago, 3 months ago. It is what it is. Yeah, I'm not bothered. I mean, in regards to Liverpool, there's like, if there was something on it, it would have been exciting. I mean, the only fact is that we haven't lost to a top 6 team for 27 games or whatever it is now. 5 games in it, I don't remember. I mean, it's nice to keep that record going. And it's also nice that Liverpool, did they beat us in the first game? I can't remember now.
No,
so it's nice that they've won the league but couldn't beat us. So yeah, I'm not massively bothered about it. And it's also nice to come back from a 2-0 down at their ground and end up probably could have nicked it, but then again they could have nicked it last minute of the game as well, to be fair. So
I also think they probably played it up, didn't they? They probably bigged it up. They thought they were going to put us to the sword. They had that bridesmaid again for Arteta, which, by the way, I think is disrespectful. Like, and they couldn't humble us. They didn't humble us.
Yeah. And again, do you know what? They tried to humble us again with a weakened team.
Yeah.
This is what gets me about this season, right? Is that Arsenal, they're talking about, bridesmaid again. runners up, well, potentially runners up again. Haven't done nothing, ain't done this. We've had 3 months without a striker. I'm not being funny. And I know everyone's had injuries, so I'm not really going to talk about injuries because I know everyone's had injuries. So I'm not that worried. But you talk about a team that's trying to compete with things without a proper striker. And again, I know what people are going to say, and I've said it myself, to be fair. If we were to sign a striker that did what Marino's done in January, any other team would be buzzing. I'm not going to dispute that. But we haven't had, when it comes to big games and having that extra edge, you need a proper striker. I mean, at that, and I think that showed on the weekend. I think if we would have had a proper striker, we would have held them to ransom.
Do you know what though as well, Cal? I think I'd rather be a bridesmaid than sitting at the table in the corner. So
shout out to James.
Nice to have you, James. Thank you for being here, mate.
Cheers, James.
But yeah, I'd rather be a giant bridesmaid than sitting at the table in the corner. I think what's frustrating.
Puts a baby in the corner.
Yeah. Well, what's annoying about it is that I do think that what Arteta has achieved this season is being slightly underplayed. All right, fair enough. We've already had the debate of whether he should have signed a striker, but if the person that you want isn't available and you're just going to buy someone for the sake of 6 months, and Liverpool are already quite far ahead, you couldn't foresee that Havertz was going to get injured the day after the transfer window. All those little details. Gabriel getting injured, how much different would the season be if Gabriel doesn't get injured? Like all the little details. I think that what Arteta has achieved with a squad that has been so kind of like mismatched throughout the whole season, I think it's nothing short of a masterclass personally. And that's not taking away anything from what Liverpool have achieved. I just think it's a shame that actually, other than for Liverpool fans, the season's been quite boring. So it's not even been like an exciting run-in, which kind of makes the whole thing a bit like, it's so anticlimactic because actually it was quite interesting up until the end of January. But even with Man City not being there, Chelsea, I mean, Man United and Spurs with relegation form really. It's just the whole season's has been just really underwhelming, and it's frustrating from an Arsenal perspective because actually I don't think they've been underwhelming. I think they've had, even if you forget about the PGMOL stuff, they've had injuries that have just really made every game about managing a game and trying to get the win. And we talked about it last week. Arteta's performance needs to be appreciated more because even the statistics against Paris, like against PSG, I think it was 5-3 expected goals. And I know that people can huff and puff about the XG thing, but that shows that Arsenal had 5 opportunities to basically put the game to bed and didn't. And that's about personnel, but that's also about personnel that's available. And he's managed to achieve that with the personnel that's available to him. Let's not forget that we got to play against Real Madrid with Sterling in the team until he got himself banned in the second fixture, I think, against, I can't remember who it was, PSV. So we've been playing with people who aren't even starters for Arsenal Football Club and maybe aren't even starters for the rest of the teams that are currently in the top 6 and 7 of the Premier League this season. And Arteta's managed to keep them second for most of the season. There's a chance we're going to fall off from second. Unless we beat Newcastle this weekend, we're not finishing second this season. But even now, 2 games left of the season, completely depleted, Arsenal could still finish second in the Premier League. And I think that is an incredible testament to what we have in Arteta. And actually, I think it's a shame that, he's not quite going to get the plaudits that he deserves. Well, you've been a very patient fan since 1975, but at least it paid off over the last couple of years with the European Cup run when David Moyes at the helm.
And the new promotion in 2 years' time. Adam, you can switch back on now, Ad.
Yeah.
Adam's gone. Are you there, Ad?
He's muted himself. Unmute yourself, you bellend. There you go.
Sorry, I was just slagging off Arsenal there, but that is what it is. But I just wanted to drop you in because we've got a guest on the show. I mean, I kindly joined his video last night with Budgie, live all the way from Brisbane, Australia. Is Cieran from Old School Hammers. Cieran, how we doing, mate? You all right?
G'day, boys. How are we? Yeah,
Hello.
good, mate.
Right,
Sun's
Cieran.
just come up. Hey, Rob. Hey, Callum.
Hello.
Mate, you're right.
Yeah,
Cieran.
I was waiting for the sun to come up so I could come out here. So,
What time is it out
rubbing it
there,
in.
Cieran?
pardon, mate.
It looks like
Just
you're rubbing it in,
mate.
I'm not. It's just that 9-hour difference we've got. And no, and your weather's been bloody good lately, isn't it? It's amazing.
Well, not today.
Oh,
Not
it's been a
today.
shambles
today.
It's been shambles today. I think we picked up the Australian winter today.
Yeah. Winter, especially here in Brisbane, is pretty good, mate. Queensland, it's when I first came here, mate, winter here was like summer for me back home, but yeah, different.
Absolutely. So
Mr.
the reason
Lampard,
why-
how's he?
he's joined. One of your followers is following us now, which is great.
Yeah, good lad, Jamesy. Good lad. He's good in the comments.
Okay, Cieran. So the reason why you're on our show is because off air yesterday we highlighted the fact that you are a 7-minute walk away from the Boleyn, where you're born and bred,
Yeah.
as are Rob and Callum. So
Where did you grow up,
Please tell-
Cieran?
Elizabeth Road, if you ever know that road, just off Catherine Road, Upton Park.
yeah.
You know?
that way. Yeah, you were that way. Okay, we were down by.
Yeah.
We grew up at the bottom of Lonsdale Avenue.
Yeah.
Oh, I know Lonsdale real well.
Yeah.
Yeah. Boundary
Trying
Road,
to
Denby
place
Road.
it.
Yeah.
Denby Road.
Was that one?
Denby Road.
Denby, yeah. I remember the names. It's trying to place where they are now. It's been that long.
It
Where
was,
all the shootings were.
it was by the New City Primary School. So if you came out of the Boleyn and you went down towards Boundary Lane, I think it was called Boundary Lane. Where the St.
Around by
Martin-
Central Park.
No, that's the other way. So you know
Right.
where the St. Martin's Church was. So where the Bobby Moore statue is now, outside the old outside Boleyn. If you took the
Where all the
road,
drug dealing goes on.
if you go down the back there,
Right.
near where the New City Primary School is and the Bampton Manor Secondary School is, that's where we grew up. But you grew up on the other side of East Ham, didn't you?
Yeah. I had the train line behind my garden. You know, I was on the way to East Ham.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
when you came from Upton Park Station, you had the Iron Bridge.
Yeah.
Then there's another bridge, and we were just by that next bridge. Yeah. So
How
about
long did you live there for?
3-minute walk to Upton Park Station, basically. And went to. Oh, you wouldn't have gone to my school then, St Bonaventure. You would have been on.
Friends go there though. I had many friends go to St Bon's.
Yeah.
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 We ended up going to the Church of England school that was in Romford. So we went quite far away, went to a Church of England school. But so St Bon's was a Catholic school, and opposite that was
Yeah. Well, yeah. 800 lunatic boys.
opposite
But-
St Angela's.
Yeah, exactly. Opposite St Angela's. Waiting for them to come out of school every day. Yeah. Yeah, it was a lot of West Ham boys come out of there. They end up playing for West Ham. You know, at the school, it was very football orientated. The guy he was a priest, well, a monk. He was the headmaster, right? Father Howard. His name was. And when I went for my interview at the school, you know, with my mum, she's all proud to bring me in there, and it was just trophies everywhere in his room. And all he says, Cieran, do you like football? I went, yeah. So you'll love it here then. Didn't give a shit about the academic side of things. He said he was football man himself. So that's how it went. Yeah, weird. What are you two boys doing supporting fucking Arsenal when you come from round there? What's happening there? Dad's sore.
Do you want to talk
Yeah,
about
dad,
it? Carl, or-
granddad.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
So our old man.
Go on, Cal, you do it.
Go on, Rob. Go on. You do it, Rob.
So our dad grew up on so you know the front of Highbury, the old
Yeah, the old one.
yeah. So my
Yeah,
dad
Avril
basically
Road.
just grew up on that road.
Wow.
So yeah, he could see over the fence into the back of Highbury, and he'd watch the games
Brilliant.
Yeah.
They used to climb through up through the stands and watch the game for free. And then
Brilliant.
as he got older, he used to sell programs for the club. And then he had then he was like a away fan and went and watched games abroad and stuff. And then obviously that just filtered down into us. We never had a choice, even though we were so close to.
Yeah.
Well,
you
either support your dad's team or your local team, didn't you? So
exactly that, mate. Because that's what I did. We were an Irish immigrant family, basically. I had 5 brothers, 2 sisters, and we'd come over from Ireland probably about 1959. I was born in 61, so I didn't have that family connection with football. I just, you know what I mean? I lived 5 minutes from the fucking ground. It's all the Bonaventures or West Ham boys. What else? Yeah, that was it. And once you go once, you sort of fall in love with it, don't you?
Well, it's like a new
Highbury
family.
was my first away game at 14.
Was it?
First place I went to, was Highbury. Yeah, in the schoolboy, down the schoolboys area down the side. You know, under 14s.
Wow.
So was that in about 76?
It was actually 75, I think. Yeah.
Because that's about the time that Nick Hornby was kind of collecting all of his notes for Fever Pitch as well.
Oh, right.
Well, he didn't publish Fever Pitch till I think Fever Pitch runs from like the early 70s up until 89 when they win it at Anfield. But it's kind of like all of his like different sort of memories from going to Arsenal games over like that sort of 20-year period.
Yeah.
But he describes quite in depth some of the experiences he had at Highbury before when it was still standing. Because you could still stand.
Yeah, it was a great ground to go to. I loved it. I thought it was a really good, proper football ground, man. I loved it. Yeah, it was kicking off everywhere in the North Bank. Arsenal and West Ham fans, it was going mental. It was, that was my first away game. Was that I was 14.
Did you, Cieran? Did you see some? You must have seen some quite memorable games at Upton Park, though. Is there any that stand out where you're like, I was so glad?
I think it was an era, and probably maybe your dads will tell you, I think it was a much better era for football. You know, it weren't so tactical. There seemed to be more goals. You know, West Ham were good at winning 3-2 and losing 4-3 and things like that, you know. Yeah, there was loads of... Our little European run in the 80s was fantastic. There was some great games. I loved every game I went to there because Upton Park had something special about it, atmosphere-wise. And I grew up, watching the likes of Bobby Moore and Martin Peters, Jeff Hurst, and Clyde Best, and just them old. And then going into the days of Brooking and Devonshire. There were so many great players around, and what we did have an appreciation was there was great players from other teams. Like I can remember Rodney Marsh and Stan Bowles. Even Glenn Hoddle at Tottenham, and, just fantastic players all over the league. George Best, Bobby Charlton. You had I find the Premier League this year absolutely boring as. There's hardly any Maverick players in the Premier League this year.
I've said this all the time. There's no characters. Yeah,
there's no characters. But like Salah had a great season. But who else really stood out? If you go back to Thierry Henry's or Bergkamp's or Zola, all these great Maverick players, I don't see them at the moment.
No, you make a great point, and do you know what else? Right, when players try and be a Maverick, so I always think like I love Ian Wright. I absolutely love Ian Wright as a young kid, and because not only because he was a good player, but like he used to do like things off the ball, and he used to rattle other players, and then when players try and do it now, it's like shunned. It's like shamed. Like so, for instance, like Skelly when he did the Haaland celebration, it was like, well, he shouldn't be doing that, but that's character. That's what football's all about. That banter and stuff. But it's almost like, well, that's disrespectful. They shouldn't do that. But you think back in the day, like Ian Wright or people like that, or Vinnie Jones, it was almost like a stand-up fight. Every game was like a fight.
Yeah,
and
right.
It's almost like, oh, that shouldn't be happening anymore.
Yeah.
And I think that character is missed. It's so missed.
Yeah, it is missed.
And fans would buy into that as well. Fans would love that. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely. As I was talking to Adam yesterday, that Inter Milan Barcelona 2 semi-finals, two of the best games I've ever seen. It was mayhem. It was everything. Everything you want in football was in them 2 games. From goals to great saves to. just brilliant.
Boys.
Do you know what it is as well? I think there's an element of like, because you guys were just talking about it as well, but there's that element of we enjoy the pantomime spectacle of football. So like I can remember watching it. So like obviously not as far back as the 80s or anything like that, but the 90s spectacle of football, where we did have like the people that we loved, like genuinely loved to hate. I can't believe I enjoy watching Roy Keane on TV now. Like I genuinely cannot believe I enjoy Roy Keane, having spent 10 years of my life bitterly hating this man. And that was the whole pantomime of football, because I watch him now, I can't believe how much I enjoy him. But then also you talk about the Maverick players. So you've got, you can talk about Henry, you can talk about your Zolas, Paolo Di Canio, players where it would just be like, don't give them a script, just let them do what they want to do. And I think, and we've spoken about this on the podcast before, you watch football now and it is a bit like watching chess. And it's very strategic. It's very tactical. One mistake and you lose your queen, you lose the game. And it's very, policed. It's almost everything. Every third is so dense with players now, and actually, you miss that kind of thing where it was just open carnage. I remember watching when Man United Arsenal were playing, and I think Sylvain Wiltord won the game 1-0 with a deflected goal, and we won the league there. And it was just like the craziest game of football. People were jumping in, people trying to kill each other. And they're all shaking their hands now, aren't they? Shaking, it's more like whispering to each other behind the hands after a game and all that type of stuff. And it kind of takes away the bravado and the kind of the competitors' edge of it all. It's all very friendly and they all follow each other on Instagram. I want them to hate each other on Instagram.
Same here. I wouldn't be giving Liverpool a guard of honour. Fuck that.
I said this on my group chat, right? I said to them, because when they did win the league, I was like, made a joke in the group chat where I was like, well, Tottenham have got to give them a guard of honour now. And then one of the other boys was like, so have Arsenal. And what? And then when for every team they play now to the end of the season, I went, well, that's just begging. They got their first, they got it, they won the league, they got their guard of honour. They can start off. You only get one.
Yeah, it should be one and done.
It should be one. You're right. The first team they play after they won it, that's it. End of story.
Trapping them.
Don't need to be reminded every week about it. Jesus.
That's right.
And I had my rant about Liverpool supporters, didn't I, Adam, yesterday? How disgusted I was with them.
It was more
Alexander-Arnold.
Yeah, that was it. Yeah, it was more directed at the Alexander-Arnold boos. I mean, Callum, what's your thoughts on the fans booing a club legend, effectively?
Nah, he's won everything at the club, right? Everything at the club. Like, what's he owe him? Like, don't get me wrong. I mean, we've all got this romance about Tony Adams being there for the whole of his career, right? The guy's won everything. He's out of contract. Don't get me wrong. There's always going to be I think for every player, there's that pull of the white shirt or the Barcelona colours. To play for the biggest clubs in Spain is going to be there for every player. Like if he had left, like no disrespect, Van Persie,
I was going to say.
Just wrong.
But I agree. I think at the end of the day, he's won everything. He's just won the league with you as well. Let him go. Enjoy.
Well, if they play Real Madrid next year, fine, boo him. When he's in Real Madrid colours, go for it. But not when he's still playing for you and done everything he could for 20 years since he was 8.
And he's a fan. He's actually a Liverpool fan.
Yeah,
like he's a boyhood fan.
His shirt number is based on the Hazel disaster, isn't it? The 66, and obviously it's the fans that are lost in that disaster in Belgium.
Yeah,
Juventus,
fucking scumbags.
Yeah. Talking of Guard of Honours when you talking of Guard of Honours when you were talking about Robin van Persie. I mean, didn't Arsenal give him a Guard of Honour at Old Trafford when he won the title?
Wow.
Yeah. Absolutely. That's only what I wanted to put in there. Go on, you carry on.
Hold on, Adam. What was the point of that conversation? What was the point of that?
You were talking about Guard of Honours. Like we're getting it every week, and I thought I just thought it was very apt to mention that Robin van Persie, as a Man United player, was being given a Guard of Honour by Arsenal fans. Carry on. Sorry to interrupt. Sorry, go on.
Are we going to have this conversation when Declan wins the league next year, and you have to give him a Guard of Honour? next year.
We'll be forever waiting, mate.
Yeah.
Well, I hope,
I'd like to know, you boys, we knew when we had Rice, we knew we had something special. But I can understand. I knew there was a lot of Arsenal supporters a bit dubious about spending that kind of money on the player, but we knew what we had, right?
Not us, mate.
Might not be you, so I'll be interested to see what you think. But I could understand why you'd think that, because if you only watch highlights of West Ham in the Rice years, you don't see what he does.
No favours here, mate. I'm going to do this.
Cieran, you're talking to the wrong mate. I would pay you 3 times. I'd pay you 300 million for him.
Right. Okay. So I just remember a lot of Arsenal fans weren't sure about him, and I was going, we're sure.
Yeah, we're sure as well. Don't worry about that.
So you're impressed. Them 2 free kicks were worth it, weren't they? Fucking hell.
Even
they were fantastic. I stood up and applauded on my settee here when he hit that second one. The first one, good enough. But my God, the second one, fuck. We never saw that. What's going on?
No, you're talking to 2 absolute super fans.
Yeah, I think he should. I think he is earmarked for Arsenal captain. But I also think that.
Yeah.
I also think I can genuinely remember having this conversation with Adam before we even had the podcast, and I remember saying to him, like, I still can't believe he's ours. I still cannot believe that Declan Rice plays for us. Like, back in the day, that would have been a signing that Man United would have made. Like, if that had been in the late 90s, he goes to Man United, and I just can't. He's at our club, and it's still, I suppose, because I had to endure that when I was a kid, where it was like, if they're good, they go to United, and Arsenal will buy talented foreign players and bring those through. The fact that, and there was nothing wrong with that, because we couldn't compete with that market then.
No.
But and we got the likes of Anelka, Henry because of that, right? But the fact that we've got probably the best British midfielder in our team still.
Oh, he's a future England captain. That
still resounds so much for me, because it's like we would never have had that. You know, if you look at Man United, they in the sort of early 2000s, then they got Carrick. Chelsea got Lampard, right? We didn't have that.
Rio Ferdinand.
And, you know, Rio Ferdinand went to United. We weren't buying those types of talent because we couldn't compete. And Wenger pulled off a masterclass by still competing with these people with a fraction of the budget. But Arsenal was spending money now because they have to. And Declan Rice was worth all of the money that Arsenal paid for, in my opinion, and more. And David Moyes was right to make the joke that you still owe me 50 million, because he's right.
Yeah.
We still owe him 50 million. We could have paid 100.
Yeah, we'll see if you boo him when he goes to Real Madrid next year.
It's a good point. It's a good point, Kieran. It's a very good point.
They can have him for free until his contract runs out. That's what they can have him.
To be fair, I think he would be a player that we would do that with. I think we would literally keep him to the end of his contract and still try and re-sign him, and then he'd go Real Madrid for free. I reckon. I'd be happy for him to go for free. I think he's that valuable.
I don't think he's that sort of player. I mean, he could have seen out his contract at West Ham for the next year and a half and could have went for free, but he knew that there was some asset value in there and went for the price that he did. I mean,
Adam, can you do me a favor? Can you put up the James the last Lamprou comment, please? No, the one before that. The one before that.
The one who had any bottle. It said about the bottle. He's the only one in the team who's got bottle.
I just wanted to call this one out because I don't agree with it.
I don't agree either.
I don't agree with that. I think that's a little bit clickbaity and fishy. I think he's going fishing on that, because I think if you look at
Skelly.
We've just gained James as a subscriber. We don't want to piss him off already.
No, I'm not disagreeing with him. He's one of our boys.
He looks like
listen, James, this is what he's here for. He loves it.
He can get on for a debate. Get him on for a debate when he's finished working. Listen, this is not true.
That's a different bloke. That's a different bloke.
Oh, is it?
No, I've been saying it for the last 2 years. You need a Harry Kane. You need a top striker that's going to get you 20 goals plus. You're not going to win a league without it. I don't give a shit if you've got Havertz or Martinelli chiming in with goals now and again, Saka now and again. Not enough. You need that 20 goal a season striker. And I'm sure you're delighted Harry Kane got his first trophy ever this year. But he was phenomenal, Kane. You know, phenomenal to regularly score 20 goals a season. I mean, that's what Arsenal are missing. You get that boy in, you could have won the league this year with us.
With who?
Cieran, have you not seen the advert?
What's that, mate?
Cieran? Have you not seen the advert?
No.
Harry Kane's coming to Arsenal, 60 mil, mate.
Oh, wouldn't that fucking upset a few people?
Mate,
Imagine that.
I'd be all
He's
over
taken
it.
off that white shirt and putting the red one on.
Fucking right, you will. I'm not sure Kane would be, but wouldn't that be fucking brilliant? Harry Kane going to Arsenal. I'd laugh my tits off.
We've fantasised about that transfer booking for the past 6 weeks, and the more it makes sense, like the more. But like,
we called it, mate. Watch when it happens. We're going to go viral because we called it about 5 months ago.
Yeah, but I don't think we would have been the first or the last person to call it. That's the problem.
No.
But it is. But if Spurs win Europa League next week, they could be well entitled to bring him back because they'll have Champions League football to offer, couldn't they?
It is a good point.
So, but Cieran is a fan of Ange Postecoglou because he's out in Australia, so he's seen his career.
Do you know what? Though?
Not Tottenham.
I'm a fan of Ange Postecoglou as well. I want him to stay at Tottenham for as long as possible.
Yeah, I'm sure you do.
As long as he don't win next week.
Yeah. Yeah, normally I'll be delighted watching the demise of Tottenham. I'd say I'm a big Ange fan. Like say, when he took Brisbane here to win the Premier League here in the A-League. That was like the Leicester winning it back home, you know. That's what he did for Brisbane. So, and then to go to Yokohama, done the same. And then Celtic, he won about 5 out of 6 trophies. He took on the Australian team, you know, got them qualified for 2 World Cups and won the Australasian sort of Euros, if you like. Never been done by Australia. Everything he'd done here was fantastic. And Japan, then Celtic. So when he went to Tottenham, I was gutted. I wanted him to come West Ham. But he needs a certain type of team with a lot of pace. He's always has played attacking football. It's enjoyable football. But you need the right team to do it. He hasn't quite got it yet at Tottenham, even though he's in a European final. If he came to West Ham now, it'd be disastrous. Right? We got the slowest team in the country. That doesn't work. But, yeah.
What's your thoughts on West Ham at the moment then? Other than being really slow.
It's really confusing. We don't know where we are. We've gone from, 3 years or so in Europe doing reasonably well. I've never been a fan of Moyes, right? So even though I gave him a lot of credit in that COVID season, he was doing great. It was good counter-attacking football with a purpose. And I enjoyed it, that first 2 seasons, but I always thought he'd revert to type, being defensive and pragmatic, and he did. And then we were shit, and it was so boring to watch. Now, I want to see entertainment. It's not about results. It's not about where you finish in the table. I want to enjoy it, and I weren't enjoying it for a long time. We were lucky enough we had Europe and picked up a trophy. That sort of papered over the cracks a bit about how poor we were. And it's very similar to Tottenham's season this year. And so now, then we brought in Lopetegui. I was going, what, really? And that didn't work. And now Potter, and even Potter, I'm like, oh no, I'm not so sure about this boy. Maybe I just don't like any manager since John Lyall. I'm not sure. But it's at the moment, look, you've got to give Potter a crack for next season. I'll give him a crack. The first couple of months is going to be very telling, and there's going to be a lot of movement in and out of the club. So. You can have Danny Ings if you need a striker. Okay, he's ready. You want Danny Ings?
I'm all right, mate.
And he's free.
And free,
yeah. He wants 130 grand a week. I think would be all right.
No, I think he's retired now on that bank. He'll play for you for free.
Yeah. But Cieran, back before he was appointed at United, Adam was really keen to have him have Amorim at Man United. At West Ham. Is that the type of manager you'd like to see come through the door at West Ham?
Yeah.
What does he do for you then? What does he tick?
We did an interview, didn't we, with Amorim before he went to Man United.
Oh, okay.
And there was, but apparently they couldn't agree or whatever, and then he ended up Man United. but he's an exciting manager. You know, play good football. Matt, look, I wanted Ten Hag before he went to Man United because I watched him at Ajax, right? And they were so exciting to watch, Ajax. Probably should have won the Champions League that year. I mean, they got done in the semis.
By Spurs.
By
Spurs, yeah. They shouldn't have lost that game. He was one of them.
No,
they were fantastic to watch. But every manager that seems to go to Man United seems to fail anyway. And Ten Hag just didn't reproduce it. But someone made a good point to me. They reckon that Ajax is a very similar like to Brighton. They decide the players. They bring in the players. They decide the philosophy of football. All you do is coach them. And they reckon that was Ten Hag's job. You just coach. We'll get the players. But this is the style of football we play. And done very well.
Because Ajax almost got Graham Potter in as manager before becoming to West Ham. Yeah. So when you just made that comparison there about the club signed the players, not the manager, and the coach is just coach. I mean, that's very bang on in terms of what's been happening. And I think that's probably why he's ended up going West Ham over Ajax, because he's got more transfer control over who he wants to bring in.
Yeah. So are you still happy with Arteta?
Yeah. 100%. Yeah.
I never like him. I don't like his antics up and down the bloody line. Does my head in, but he's still.
Every Arsenal fan loves it. That's the thing, isn't it?
Thing is, if he was West Ham manager, you'd be all over that. You'd be like, "Oh, he's
I don't know. Maybe you're right.
But like,
we had it with Bilic, didn't we? We had it with Bilic. Bilic was one of those managers who was on the touchline and giving everything. I mean, if someone's there and he's giving you everything on the touchline for your club and he loves your club, then you can very much be invested in that. And I think that's what Arteta gives to Arsenal. There's some Arsenal fans out there that are probably just a bit ungrateful in terms of the level of credit and work he's put in. And I think you have to look beyond the unsuccessful period and look at what he's building at that club.
The thing is, Adam, you got to think like 5 years ago. I mean, we would have all been biting off it. We would have been laughing at you.
You said this,
saying that we lose in a semi-final against PSG and beat Real Madrid in the quarters in 2 legs. We would have laughed at you. Everyone. To be fair, the whole country would have laughed at us. Probably the whole world would have laughed at us. Arsenal getting anywhere near that or finishing second 3 years in a row or whatever it might be. They would have laughed at us. We would have laughed. You know.
No, he's done great.
Not only that he's changed the team, but the fan base, how the fans interact with the players, how they interact at the ground, the songs. I don't get me wrong, it's not just him, but the team around him and what Arsenal are doing at the time. Mate, it's a different club, absolutely different club.
Can I also add to that as well, Cal? Not just Arteta, but also the work that Mertesacker has done to get the players coming through with the work that he's been doing. So if you're looking at the Skellys, the Neneris, and even like as far back as Jack Wilshere was working with those players as well. I think there was a thank you post there's a picture that either Nwaneri or Skelly shared where he was like so grateful to have been able to work with this guy. Like as Arteta's gone in, he really worked on the infrastructure of the club. He's helped alongside the likes of
Edu,
like all these people, they've created this infrastructure where we have an academy product that Chelsea had or have, and they're starting to develop talent that aren't just being sold to other Premier League teams, but actually are making the Arsenal 11 and making the Arsenal 11 better. Miles Lewis-Skelly, people were talking about how this was going to be Nwaneri's breakout season. I cannot believe that Skelly hasn't been nominated for a Young Player of the Year award, right? This guy is at left back. He's not even a defender. He's a defensive midfielder. He's the guy. People keep talking about how we're going to buy Zubimendi and everything. Great, lovely player. If anyone is ready...
Is that Zubi? Is it Zubi? Yeah.
Zubi, right? Listen... If anyone is ready for that party role, that I feel like it's Skelly, and we've got these academy players that are coming through next season in the Arsenal setup. We could have Nwaneri, Skelly, Saka, and Dalman, and they all could be in contention for first team places, and they're all from Hale End. It's an incredible achievement by Arteta club.
All could play for England.
I don't know if he'll be on shaky ground. I think he might feel lethargic, James. So I don't think he'll be on shaky ground with the board because I think the board know what they've got, right? But I do think he might think or start to think, have I taken this club as far as I can? And that does concern me because I don't know if an Arteta-less club, an Arteta-less Arsenal is a good thing for Arsenal Football Club. That's my honest take on that, James.
Who would be the succession plan of Arsenal? I'm not saying he's going to leave, but if
they've probably got one.
Maybe
They
must have one, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, Fabregas was recently on Italian TV analysing the season that he had. They are. They both are. Fabregas was recently on TV analysing his club, analysing the way that he set up his team. Is it Campo something? Is that what they're called? I can't remember.
Como.
Yeah. And basically he talked about how he set up the team. And you're just looking, you're thinking, you are Wenger's son, aren't you? Like, you can see the legacy that he's had on the impact that Wenger has had on Fabregas, the impact that Wenger had on Arteta. Yes, Arteta went and worked with Pep, but you can see the influences on his players, and not all of them have been incredibly successful, but a lot of his players have gone on to have, or some of his players have gone on to have at least credible managerial careers, or have been around important setups. So Vieira being at Palace, Henry being around the international
Belgium.
team, what Fabregas is doing right now. You can
David
see the
Platt.
impact that they've had.
David Platt. Yeah.
So
Man City. Sorry, Man City.
It's nice to be able to see that legacy because we all adore Wenger. And I'm so grateful to what he did for our club for 20 years, especially in the years where we were abandoned, we had no money, and he was still getting qualifications to the Champions League by the last couple. It was crazy. But yeah, sorry, I kind of drifted a little bit there. Apologies.
Yeah,
I think Arsenal
next year. I think you could. So I think you're only a couple of players away from winning the league. Simple as that. That's what he's done for you. And it's disappointing for all Arsenal fans, I'd imagine, not getting to it in the end. It's like, anyway, I always found that with Man United, right, when they were dominating the first division back then in the 70s and 80s, when it was it. Ferguson had a way of turning a draw into a win or a loss into a draw. And that's what Arteta's got to do it. Yeah. And plus, the referee should give him extra time, make sure he got it. But that's the difference. I see Arsenal too many draws. That's an easy thing to pick out. You've got to turn them draws into wins, and that's a massive difference. You tried 5 draws into wins. That's 10 points. And Ferguson was really good at doing that.
Yeah,
that's right. That's right. So, Cieran, tell us a bit more about yourself in terms of your family setup. I mean, do you have any kids at all? And
my boy, he's 22. My boy now.
Is he?
He went to work at 5 o'clock this morning. So,
is he UK or is he in Australia?
He's here with me. Yeah. I couldn't be bothered with his mother, pain in the ass, so pissed her off. And we got on really well with mum. But yeah, he lives with me. She does her own thing. So that's it. Yeah, he's an Aussie, mate, but you wouldn't know, mate. I could bring him on here. You'd think he's English. He speaks. He's not got a very strong Australian accent at all. Not at all.
Is he a West Ham fan?
Yeah. He had no choice in that matter. You know that. Yeah, no. He's either sports West Ham or he's out the door. It's as simple as that. Yeah, he's at the supper. He's at the supper a bit, but he saw him win a trophy. He's happy.
Do you start watching all the games? Or how do you follow?
Yeah, I try and watch. I do, mate, but it can be awkward with the timing, depending what time of year it is. At the moment, I'm 9 hours in front of you. So, but during most of the season, 10 hours in front of you. So if you had a 3 o'clock kickoff, it's 1 o'clock in the morning. So if we're doing well, I might stay up for an odd one here and there. But now and again, I'll just get up at 6 in the morning, watch it there before I even look at my phone, and it's just the same as watching it live. But we get every game here. We got Optus here in Australia. We get every game live. We get, and then you got a choice of watching a 25-minute highlight of a game, a 10-minute highlight, or a 4-minute highlight. It's up to you. You watch the 90 minutes. So we've got it good here for football to watch it. So I do watch the highlights of all games and maybe watch 2 or 3 a week of the full game. I got the worst highlights I ever see was last week though, Man City Southampton. It was, oh my God, I wanted to slash my wrist. 10 had all 11 Southampton players in their own box, and that was it. And, my God, it was bad.
I don't think that will go down in history.
No, you've never. Honestly,
watch.
It's so bad.
I'm so glad James said that, because that's what I was thinking about when I don't know if you guys can see the comments.
Yeah, I'm not posting that.
It did make me a chuckle, but I'm not going to repeat it, but it is quite funny. It did cross my mind, James. But yeah, no. Does your boy support Brisbane then?
What's that, mate? Sorry, motorbike just went by.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, does your boy support Brisbane?
No, do you know, I started watching the A-League in its early days because it used to be the Australian National League here.
Yeah.
And then it started, and we went to a couple of, but it's shit, guys. It's just, it's hard to watch. There's no much atmosphere in the ground. It was great that year, Postecoglou for a couple of seasons, and when they had the grand final, it was up here at Suncorp in Brisbane, the grand final, and they had 45,000 people turn up for it. So that was, it was good for Brisbane at the time. But it is a pretty poor league to watch. It's hard, So I used to play when I first came here. I went and lived on the Gold Coast. Only 40 minutes away from here. And I played for Surfers Paradise Apollo. Oh, great. That's brilliant. What my first team to play for in Australia. And I must say that I didn't realise the level they had here. It was bloody. I just played Sunday football, and because I wanted to watch West Ham all over the country, I never went. Saturday football is usually a semi-pro type top football in England, wasn't it, back in the day, anyway. So I didn't want to go. I didn't want to test myself for that because I always wanted to watch West Ham. So I used to play Sunday football with my mates. I come to this team, and most of the players in it was about 8 Scottish players in the first team, semi-pros or ex-pros in the team, and we were playing against teams who had current internationals in it, for New Zealand and Fiji, all of Australasia. And you think, fuck, this is another level for me. I've not played that. And they had a first team and had a reserve team, and I thought, shit, I was walking. I just walked in, mate. I just want to have a kick about it. Happy if I got in the reserves, And fucking hell, we done pre-season and everything, training 2 nights a week, whatever. And I used to do a lot of swimming then as well. So I was reasonably fit. I thought I was. And then I got picked for the first team, and I was a right back. But the right back we had was brilliant. So I was never getting his play. He's an ex-pro from Scotland. It was so good. And they played me left back, and I would go, Jesus Christ, my left foot's only good for standing on. And back. But I done all right. I stayed in the team for the season. And we used to get a lot of stuff in the papers because of one reason. I was training with this guy. His name was Callum, right? And after a few weeks, good big lad, nice bloke. He was a northerner, right? Come from north of England somewhere. And one day, another boy there said to me, do you know who that is, do you? I said, who? He went, Charlotte. I said, no, who is he? He said, it's Jack Charlton's son. I went, what? And it was Jack Charlton's son. His name's John. And we became really good friends. And I met Jack Charlton came out. Jack Charlton was manager of Ireland at the time.
Yeah.
And Jack Charlton came out a couple of times. So I met Jack Charlton and his mum. His mum was really lovely. And Jack was just Jack Charlton, very brusque. Brusque northerner. But a good lad, yeah. But Charlotte became good friends with him, good lad. But because of his name, we'd get a lot of shit in the papers, when because we were doing well. We were winning the league till they deducted points off us. Played an unregistered player for 10 minutes, you know, a very West Ham thing to do. And they took points off us. But yeah, it was good. I really enjoyed it as well. Yeah, I really enjoyed the standard was my claim to fame. Here's my claim to fame. Southport was a big rival of ours down on the Gold Coast. And we were playing them. And it was all across the papers that week down there, the Gold Coast Bulletin. They'd signed this player from New Zealand, current New Zealand international. I went, shit, midfielder, number 10. And my coach said, right, mate, you're coming out of left back for this game. You're man marking him. I went, you're fucking kidding me. It's an international, for fuck's sake. I can't get anywhere near him. Yeah. And I marked him out of the game. And he never got a kick. And I even got a mention in the paper for it. So, but it was his first game. 3 months later, we played him and he tore us to pieces. So, yeah, it was
That's
good.
because you were playing left back.
Yeah. I'm just going to get a juice, guys. You're right.
That's right, Cieran. No worries, mate. Yeah. Yeah, bit of a life out there, isn't it? In Australia, you get to play with Fiji internationals and
what a story.
But as I was saying I know, of all the people. Yeah. I mean, I was saying to Cieran and Budgie on their stream, Old School Hammers on West Ham Network last night, nice plug, that it's weird that when you think of Australia that they've got similar places that are similar to us. I mean, I remember getting a bus on the western side or the eastern side of the coast, and you're going from like Ipswich, Newcastle, Southport, and you're like, hang on, these are all places in England. That's mental. Mm. Yeah. So
yeah, I forget these names. I said Southport as well. Yeah, it's another English name, isn't it?
I'm sure there's Perth, another house in Scotland, isn't it?
Yeah, we had a team, Palm Beach on the Gold Coast. Right? They were like the Man United of the Gold Coast League because they had every level from under 8s to the first team, massive clubhouse, 3 pitches, you know, really beautiful place. I remember our first game against them, we went and beat them 1-0. Man, did we give it to them in the dressing room. I mean, it was like beating Man United, you know. They had everything. They were paying, you know, their first team players were all getting paid, and well, that was great to beat them. Man. There's nothing better.
Yeah, we had a team. So when I never played to that level, but when I was playing in Newham growing up, we played in the I don't know what it's called, the Schoolboys League back in that day, but we were playing under 18s football anyway. And a team around us was called Royal Falcons. That was the team that you wanted to beat. There was Royal Falcons, and then there was Newham Royals, and then there were like all the other teams. But they were like the 2 standout Newham-based teams. And if you beat Royal Falcons, you really felt like you'd done a job, you know.
Yeah, that's it.
It was incredibly sad to beat them, because you were basically just like the startup team. You know, one of the kids wanted to play football, so the dad started up a football team, and I think the team was called Wellington. That was what we were called, and when you beat those teams, it was just the best feeling, wasn't it? And you had a few like that, didn't you, Cal?
Yeah, I mean, oh god, yeah. You know, our biggest rivals was Enfield. You know, we played in the around Walthamstow, and it was, you know, that was a team that everyone wanted to beat. Was, you know, Enfield, and to be fair, we always beat them. To be honest with you, we always finished top of the league. I think they only ever beat us once, I think, top of my head, but for the championship. But I mean, kids football is just fantastic, isn't it? You know, the meeting up in the morning, all in the car park, all the dads talking, and then you'd all jump in your cars and head off to whatever game you're going to, and then you'd all end up in a pub and have like a pub dinner or something, and then go home, and that's the good way of.
I couldn't believe it. We had, you know, when I started playing here, and I thought, hey, you got our own clubhouse, we've got a bar, we've got, you know, nice dressing rooms, lovely our own pitch. We had a kit man that took our stuff and washed it. Never had that before. It's all right. But some of the Scottish players we had in our team, mate, it was so good. We had this guy turn up, Peter Dwyer, his name was. And he started about 4 weeks into the season, and he turned up at training. This lanky, skinny geezer, about 6'2". He looked like a right knob, right? I was going, "Fuck, who the fuck's this?" And it's like, "Oh, apparently he's a striker." I said, "Oh yeah, watch him in training. He don't look like he's good enough, man. Man, he used to play for Alloa, I think, back in Scotland. My God, when he started, I couldn't believe how good he was. He was just fantastic. He left foot, right foot, head, fucking anything. The boy scored goals all over the place. You know that? You go, wow. Never judge a book by its cover.
No, 100%.
I've got a question
Cieran,
for you, Cieran.
Go on, Cal.
What do you
Go
think
on.
about,
One more question, mate.
So one more question. What are you thinking about predictions for next year?
Cool. For what? Who wins the league?
Yeah, go on. Let's do top 6.
Yeah. Tricky. Now that's. I think Chelsea are going to be a threat. They're not going to win it, but I think that's it. That squad they've got and them young players. I think he might get a tune out of them next year. That's just. I think they will be in the top 4. I'm not so sure Liverpool will win it again.
No, I don't think so either.
And Man City, I think, will bounce back, maybe, if they, because I've heard rumours about the players they're buying.
Yeah.
If Arsenal get that striker, I think Arsenal get every chance to win it. But I think you will see Arsenal, Man City, Chelsea. Man United still look a mile away. I don't know about Cameron might turn it around with wherever he signs. But yeah, I think Arsenal got a chance to win it next year. But I'd be aware of Chelsea, though. Just got a funny feeling there's some bloody good players there. And they're nowhere near what they should be doing. Nowhere near it, I don't think, yet. West Ham, no. We're not winning it. I know that much. I'll get that right.
Top
10, I hope.
In it to win it, mate. In it to win it. Now, Cieran, thanks a lot for joining us this evening. It's been an absolute pleasure to talk to you again for a second night on the spin.
No worries, man.
Always. But we'll definitely get you on in future. We'll get Budgie on as well in future as well. And if you just want to promote your show on West Ham Network.
Yeah, we 10 o'clock every Wednesday night on the West Ham Network. We do our old school hammers, which is 7 in the morning for me, right? And which is about now we'd be starting. So yeah, we do that. UK time, 10 o'clock Wednesday nights. Yeah, go give them a follow. It's a great watch. To get some good characters in the chats and comments as well, which is great. So, yeah, they're a good crew in the chat. They're good lads. You know, they don't mind having a laugh and taking the piss out of each other. So it's good. We don't take everything too seriously. You know what I mean? Even as bad as it is at West Ham, we try not to get too negative about it because there's no point. We have a moan up, and that's about it. And then move on. We can all do it.
A quick vent. Anyway, mate, thanks a lot for enjoy the rest of your day in beautiful sunny Australia, and we'll catch up soon again, mate.
Yeah, good to see you, boys.
Thanks, good night. Bye bye.
I'll talk to you later.
See you later, mate. Bye.
He was great.
There we go. That's Cieran from Old School Hammers. Yeah, he's a good lad, very good lad, very very switched on, and very much missing the old West Ham, which is basically my dad's era. So yeah, so it's always good to get someone like that on board to educate us younger heads. But you went on about predictions, Callum. Now, obviously, we've run over a bit this week, but we'll just quickly touch on what our predictions were from our very first episode. So can you remember what your predictions were for this season?
No.
Okay.
No.
So I said Liverpool to win the league, which they've done. Arsenal to win the FA Cup, which they haven't. Arsenal to win the Champions League, which they haven't. And I can't remember the Carabao Cup. I'm not going to lie, but they were the three, obviously, big cups.
Yeah. I think I said Arsenal would win the league, which they didn't. I said Man City would win the Champions League, which they didn't. I think I said Newcastle for the Carabao Cup.
I think you might have.
Or I think I at least predicted Newcastle to win a trophy. But I don't know if it was the Carabao Cup or the FA Cup. And then the other one that I also messed up was that I said that Nuno would be the first manager sacked. And I got that one wrong.
Yeah, that is true. My predictions were dog shit. I had Man United to win the Premier League. That was with Ten Hag.
That closest winning the Championship, mate.
Mate, if they still win a trophy.
Yeah, true.
You had Liverpool to win the League Cup. Obviously, they got to the final and were completely outplayed by Newcastle. So that's half a point, I suppose. I believe I put Arsenal for the FA Cup. And Champions League, I had Real Madrid. And your boys knocked them out and ruined my streak. So I say streak. There's nothing to streak about.
Come on.
Barely a streak. 21-0. That means 21 wrong and none right. So that was my sort of predictions, and I think we need to look beyond our rose-tinted glasses next season and kind of really give it a good shot. I mean, to be fair, I did say Bournemouth would have a good season. They'll be just south of the European places, but then I did say West Ham would get top 4. But
can I also add though, Adam? We spent a lot of the early podcasts doing a lot of drinking while we were recording. We've grown up over the last few months, and we don't really do that anymore.
It's that famous Triple H quote, isn't it? I mean, if we was the same person we was this time last year, and we haven't changed, then we failed ourselves. But I'm still the same person. I'm still drinking.
I'm looking forward to season 2. Actually, I know that's like it's not for a while, but I am looking forward to season 2. I feel like this year has been a really good learning experience for how to do this type of stuff. And obviously the subscribers are improving and the viewers the views are going up and all that type of stuff. So it is really rewarding. But yeah, when you compare to some of the things that we were doing right at the beginning and the way that we've kind of changed some of the content and the way we've split the the 2 pods now, I think that works really well. Just little details that we've done, it just makes me really excited for season 2 because that year of experience really makes a difference, doesn't it? So hopefully season 2 really pushes.
Wishful thinking. That's if we do season 2.
Oh, really?
I'm joking. Of course we do season 2.
If you do season 2, Callum's been practicing. Hi, welcome to the Dads Our Job podcast, the original podcast for dads by dads. I'm your host, Adam Leverbarrow. Lads, how are we doing?
I prefer Callum's version at the start. Cal, just give your one again. The Mark Wright gaze. Go on. Wait a minute. Go.
Welcome, gents. It's time. Dads. All dads. Bye, dads. That's our job. Pod. I've actually forgot what the pod is called.
What was this, Cal? What was this? Welcome, gents. Or dads. Bye. Dads. What was this?
I've had 2 red wines since we started.
So all that talk about drinking on me with my tea.
Yeah, that's it. I think we're safe to say that Mark Wright will keep his Heart FM Disco Bangers show.
No, I think I could do it up just before 2 red wines.
I thought mine was pretty good, to be fair.
You're like Sinatra, he can only sing if he's pissed, right?
Yeah.
Fair.
So what's your predictions for this week then, just quickly before we close off for the night? Rob's frozen.
Arsenal wins 2-0.
Oh, here it goes back now.
I don't know what happened.
Arsenal win 2-0.
Who have Arsenal got?
Newcastle,
yeah.
Do you know what? If Arsenal win, I think they pretty much cement second, don't they? But they have to beat Newcastle to really do it. So I think that. Do you know what? If Arsenal could go to Liverpool and pull a draw, you've got to believe that Arsenal could go to Newcastle and win. I think the danger is we could get. Thanks, Hack. Thanks for hanging around,
thank
James.
you.
Thanks, James.
Cheers, James. Cheers.
I do think
Appreciate
that. I think two things could happen. Like Arsenal could win or Arsenal could lose, right? I don't really see this game being a draw. I think if Arsenal lose, there's a chance they could get absolutely spanked. But I also think that Arsenal will want to finish second. And having played so well in the second half against Liverpool and holding on in the first half against Liverpool, you've got to think that there's potential there for an Arsenal win. I do worry about Newcastle's midfield because I do think their midfield is particularly special this year. Isak aside, I do think defensively they can be got on that, especially with some of the injury problems they've had this year in defence. So you've got to believe there's going to be a few goals in the game. So I reckon a 2-1 Arsenal win.
Yeah, well, actually, now you said that, I think, all night long we've been talking about strikers. And let's be honest, he is the game changer, Isak. I think 2-1 Newcastle.
Oh, is it at your place or at Newcastle's?
It's at Newcastle.
It's at Newcastle's, yeah.
I think, let me double check. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's Newcastle.
I'm going to go 1-1.
No, we're at home. We're at home. No, I reckon we're going to win.
I reckon 1-0. I still think I think you're pretty evenly matched, even though you've had a few injuries. But there was rumours today, or I saw on Sky Sports News, that Havertz is in full training.
Mate, Martinelli went off injured today in training.
Oh,
yeah. Well, you got Havertz come back, haven't you?
But he won't play. He won't play on the weekend.
I'd love to see Havertz for the end of the season. Yeah, I would.
He'll go and score a hat-trick in our last game of the season and cement us second place.
Yeah. I'd prefer him to beat Newcastle, if I'm being honest. I'd prefer to beat Newcastle and Southampton.
Yeah.
But, yeah. All right. West Ham
got?
Sorry, boys. Both spoke over each other. Go on.
West Ham have got Forest.
Yeah, West Ham got Forest at home, so it's our last home game of the season, and it's the last opportunity for all West Ham fans to give their thanks to Aaron Cresswell, Vladimir Soufal, Fabianski, and the legend that is Danny Ings and Kurt Zuma.
Potentially Antonio.
Potentially, but I think if he proves his fitness, he could be given an additional year on a play-as-you-play contract. So I don't think this will be the last season. Based on what I've heard, I think he'll be given that play-as-you-play deal for next season. But Aaron Cresswell, 11 years a servant. His season will come to an end, and it's an absolute travesty that he will not get a testimonial for it because West Ham don't own the London Stadium. So they can't give him the ground for him to earn some extra money to race for charity or whatever. So so he won't be given a testimonial.
They went out Dagenham for the day.
They could do. But yeah, I think it's a big shame because basically it costs 350 grand to rent out London Stadium for the day. So whether Aaron Cresswell would want to hire that out and then raise some money off his own back, that's debatable. But I think West Ham are earning millions each season. They could actually give some loyalty back to a player that's been such a servant for this club. So
they should
do.
But having said that, we can talk about it next week. I think that's very romantic, and I would love to see them beat Newcastle. But I think Newcastle are too good, and I think it will probably be 3-1. I think Elanga, Gibbs White.
Newcastle
Nottingham Forest will win 3-1. Elanga, Gibbs White, Chris Wood, Hudson-Odoi. I can't. Bowen will score, so I said 3-1. I think Bowen or Solchek will score. But I just think Forest are too good, and I think that was.
I think they're derailed. I think they've derailed at the wrong time of the season, and I think we'll beat them 2-0.
Well, I hope you do.
I think we'll beat them 2-0, and I can see a James Ward-Prowse free kick going in. especially being on loan at the club there. Yeah.
0-0.
Well, I hope that happens.
Cheers, Cal.
It'd be a 0-0.
And then we will be watching those highlights on repeat, just like Man City,
God.
Southampton last weekend.
Yeah.
No.
Very good.
Right, then, boys. No worries. Thanks again. We're not recording next week because we have man time, dad time, beer time, but I'm actually away on holiday. Rob and Callum will be going to the beer and doing some shorts and stuff like that, but we'll be back the following week.
To the pub.
To the pub. Yeah, to the pub. But we'll be back the following week. And reviewing the season. That'll be our last episode for the season, and then we'll be back having a break. We might do something for the FIFA Club World Cup, depending on what sort of guests we get on. But other than that, the season is over for us after next week. So, thank you for everyone that's been watching and joining and subscribing this season. I think it's been brilliant, fantastic support. We've grown from literally nothing to something to build off for next season. So thank you very much for all your support. Please like and drop a comment on the comments below. Council Straight. I've been once, James. If I'm honest, the Spiders have got bigger bollocks than me, so I think I'll probably pass. But no, thanks again. Just like and comment and subscribe. It's very much appreciated. And we'll see you in a couple of weeks for our penultimate episode. So thanks a lot, guys. See you soon.
Take care, guys.
Cal, do you want to do the outro?
No, you do it, Ed. Go on, you go.
No, go on, you do it. I'll put you solo, and then we'll let you go.
Hold on, what have I got to say?
Just do what you want, off the cuff, mate. Freestyle, go.
It's been emotional. Have a good night. We'll see you in 2 weeks. Ciao.